Hey folks, Cool18 here, and welcome to Let's Try Divinity Original Sin Early Access Edition. So I first tried Divinity Original Sin sometime last year, around April of 2013, where I played the game, a very early build of the game, alongside with one of the developers, and I was pretty impressed with what I saw at the time. And recently, it has hit the Early Access system on Steam, so I think a lot more people might be looking for information about it, and so I want to cover it one more time over here and go through some of the stuff at the start of the game. And, you know, like with most Early Access games, the game is not yet done. Now, most of the time, for a lot of games, that means that there's just sort of lacking general features. I'm trying to think of stuff like Prison Architect is a very successful early access game where with every update they're adding more and more sort of little features and rooms that you can add in, that sort of thing. With something like Divinity Original Sin, which is an RPG, what it is, apparently right now, there's about 15 hours worth of content. Then they may be adding more and more chapters to the stories they go forward. And certainly developing some extra features here and there as well. But be aware that Divinity may not have the same sort of replay value that some other games in progress may have. Now, when this game will be done, I think it's going to be very exciting, especially the fact that they're going to be shipping it with the full creation tools in terms of map building, mission building, campaign building, and all that kind of stuff. There's also multiplayer in there, so there's a lot of potential for replayability later on. But for now, you know, sort of buyer beware. Be aware that there's just not that much stuff out there, and I do think it's going to be a very good game, but I'm not entirely convinced about the early access status. But anyway, let's go through the game and see exactly what's going on. So there's plenty of stuff that's good. It's got, you know, lots of different options. It does have a setup for multiplayer, offline mode, invite only, friends, public. Now, I have not played around with the multiplayer in early access yet. I did play the multiplayer version of the game last year, so at the time it worked pretty well. So hopefully it still does. But again, you know, put another caveat in there. Let's go ahead and hit new game. Now, what's worth noting is that while it does have multiplayer, in the built-in campaign, it is a two-player multiplayer game because it revolves around these two characters here. I believe his name is Roderick, and I think this is Scarlet. And so it's a two-player multiplayer game, and the thing is, the campaign's built around having these two characters in there. There's a lot of flexibility into like what kind of classes these people have and that sort of thing, but the built-in one is 2 players. I believe the engine actually supports something like 6 players in custom modules. Let's go ahead and start a new game at this point. Get a nice loading screen there with the keybinds. Plenty of warnings about the fact that the game is still highly under development, so keep that in mind. All right, here's the character creator. So, again, we've got 2 people in here. We've got both Scarlet and Roderick. I think that's his name. God, I'll feel stupid if that's not what it is. But, and you do play with both, so you want to go ahead and actually customize them both. So, for example, here, Roderick here, we've got him set up as a rogue, but there's quite a number of classes. Now, these are not hard classes. What they are is like predefined builds in terms of these attributes. Entirely possible for you to go ahead and sort of reset everything to have no points whatsoever, and then distribute your points exactly where you want them. I think the thing to think of these things is less classes and more just sort of build bookmarks that you can grab. So Wizard, Warrior, Survivor, which is kind of like a Ranger type fellow, ranged fighter. We'll go ahead. We'll make him a Rogue, and we'll make her maybe. I actually like the Knight build, a 2-handed weapon dealer. So you've got a few starting skills going in there. We've got Way of the Warrior, which is going to give us some extra armor abilities, for example. 2-handed damage here. Armor Specialist, so our armor is going to count for more. Plenty of wizardry skills as well, and variety of spells potentially available. Reflexes gives us a chance to dodge melee attacks, which is good because she's not going to have a shield. And Leadership over here gives party members in your vicinity various boosts. Well, that sounds pretty useful. And yeah, that results in a handful of skills over here. We've also got some talents put in. We've got the Gladiator talent, which we're not getting any information about. Oh, there we go. Oh, the tooltips are just not quite lined up properly. I did notice that earlier. It seemed to, all the text and tooltips seemed to align fine when I was in full screen mode, but for recording convenience here, I'm running in sort of a windowed mode at kind of an oddball resolution. So that might be what's going on there. Again, you know, early access, be prepared. So, Gladiator improves your chance to hit an opponent with melee weapons in battle. That sounds pretty good. And Indestructible improves our armor rating. That sounds really good. Leader of the pack increases your initiative by 5 at the onset of combat. All these things sound really good. So let's go ahead and accept those 2. And there we are. The last time I thought it asked me for a name somewhere. It's a little bit of dialogue back and forth. Some things we can loot. Like a shell over here. So we do have a quest. If we check the journal here. Or is it log? There we go. So there's a Mysterious murderer. We've been sent to some land, Sicile, to investigate the murder of Counselor Jake. The wizard Aru will meet us in the harbor to elaborate. So that's it. So we are source hunters. We hunt sorcerers, spelled S-O-U-R, so on and so forth. S-O-U. It's like the source, which is, you know, all right, whatever. Sure, we'll take that. You click the move. And in this particular phase of the game, it will feel a lot like an RPG like Diablo, but you'll see once we enter combat, it actually goes into a turn-based combat that's going to be much more familiar to anyone who played the original Fallout games, Fallout 1 and 2. So you're going to have an action point system, for example, and if we go up somewhere over here, I think we should run into a fight relatively soon. There we go. Got a fight going on against some crab people. If we look at them over here, oh, actually, I got to make sure to go over this way because there's a good bit. And there we have it. So I'm going to see if I can't use my rush ability to get in here. No. Oh, it's blocked. There's a bit of a line of sight issue. So let's dart around this way. And, oh, we didn't save ourselves enough action points. So I'll just run up as much as I can. You can see the action points that I've got here. There are stats that increase the amount of action points that you have available, as well as your general sort of run speed, right? So Roderick here, I think, has higher speed. So I think he could actually cover more distance given his action points. So now these, the crab critters, what are they? Crab underlings and the crab matriarch, they're going to move forward. They're only level 1, so it should be relatively easy to deal with. She's just snapping her... Did she actually just summon another crab? Oh, that's actually kind of scary. So, we could use a fear. We could encourage our allies and boost them. I think what we're going to do is actually just do a rush forward all the way to the matriarch, hitting everyone along the way. Actually killing one. That seemed like pretty good attack, and actually we knocked over the matriarch as well. That sounds handy. He's actually got a charm ability. I suppose what we can do is try to charm this one crab here. Oh, made it saving throw. That was kind of a useless turn. All right, now the crabs are getting to go again. Get a nice round. There are flanking bonuses that can come into play, so that's a little bit concerning. I think, should I use a fear here? No, I think I'm just going to go ahead and smash. We'll focus fire on the matriarch and do some really good damage there. Again, these are just level 1 enemies, so that's not too bad. We don't have enough action points to attack again, but we'll move in there. Ooh, that symbol means I'm actually being flanked, which is definitely less than good. If I attack from behind with Roderick, I can backstab. I don't know if attacking something that's prone will count, but we'll give it a try. We did get a critical hit, so that's good. And we'll run up as much as we can here to at least supply some flanking in the other direction. I'm sure that symbol means we're being flanked, actually, as opposed to us flanking them. What happens if I move over here? No? Nothing? Alright. Well, we should still be able to one-shot things. Except we don't have enough action points. Let's end her turn. And this looks like a backstab to me. More critical hits. There we go. Then we can alt and pick up Pearl. Thank you very much. And then let's go ahead and head over there. You can, by toggling F1 and 2, you can control which character you're currently using actively. There's also a sneak ability that lets you do some things, and you can draw and sheath your weapons. I'm not sure that has any effect, but it may. And so, actually, here's great. So we've got a crate here. Now, we can go up and loot it. Nothing in this crate. And, you know, that's pretty typical stuff. But the other thing you can do is actually click and drag and move objects around. You have to be close enough. Your character has to be close enough to actually grab them. But it leads to the interesting possibility that you might be able to manipulate the landscape around to create defensive barricades against certain things. And I think that's actually a really exciting feature and one that I haven't really seen in this type of game before. And I'm really actually excited to see where that will go. So here we got a nice like dead body on the beach. It's in splatter over. We can pick up the journal. If we go into our inventory and read the journal, we can find out that it's there's a mage. There's some statues way up above this cliff. And apparently, well, I said mage, not necessarily mage, but this person was convinced that the statues had granted him the ability to fly. And, well, that didn't work out so well. But this is actually going to prompt a conversation between the two characters. So I'm currently controlling Scarlet, so I can click on Roderick to initiate the conversation. Cooperative dialogue. And again, if you're playing in multiplayer, this sort of thing goes between the two players as well. In this example, I'm going to be providing the dialogue options for both characters. But in a multiplayer situation, everyone gets to choose their response. So Roderick says, "Can you believe this? The man jumped off a cliff at the behest of some statues, of all things." So I can say, well, great deeds require the occasional leap of faith. I myself might have done the same. Or pure madness. How could someone be so utterly naive? And you get to pick. So I'm going to go with pure madness. And then Roderick can say, agreed, call me skeptical, but a little proof goes a long way for the rational mind. And or I could say, Rivlin is no stranger to supernatural. He might well have flown into the sunset and looked down at us cynics laughing. I'm going to say we're both going to be rather skeptical about it. And you'll notice we both got pragmatic +1 above our heads. If we open up, whoops, that's not the key I meant. We open up our character sheet and go to the very last tab over here to traits. You can see that Scarlet over here has the pragmatic trait assigned to her. And I believe pragmatic is opposed by romantic. So having positive pragmatic is increasing my reason by 1. And if I had positive romantic, it would increase my luck. And these factor into a variety of different scripted events and conversations and different things like that. Or at least that's the idea. And it's really cool that you've got this sort of secondary stat tree that is based purely on choices in conversation, which I think is kind of interesting. The other things here are the things we've seen before, the talents, my skills, and of course my current equipment. So we'll close that. Looks like there's a scroll over here on the ground, which we'll pick up. The rain scroll is kind of interesting because it creates water puddles on the terrain, dousing fire and making characters wet. And it's really quite indicative about the type of interactions that may end up happening in this game. So I believe what I want to do is keep walking up this way where we actually saw those crab people. And it's going to be a bit of a hike to get to the top here, to get to the next place. We've got another journal. Oh yeah, the talking statues, which we could track down actually and see if they do anything for us. Bit of a door there. I don't think that opens up. I think it's just purely decorative. We'll see. Yes, the camera can be adjusted. I know. You don't have to tell me. So there's plenty to explore. In fact, there's bonus exploration for exploring everything and seeing everything. And of course, plenty of various loot that you can find in different areas. Nothing there? No? Alright, let's go. Ah, here we are. This is where I'm thinking about going. So we'll have another encounter up here on the bridge with a couple of guards, Bibius and Junius. And there we go. And actually, that's interesting, this text here. NPCs, you can barter with most NPCs. Clicking this trade button, I can see what they've got. They've got some weapons, and we've got some stuff, so we might be able to trade for some goods that way, for example. Hold it right there, orc scum. No one slips past the Legion unchallenged. Calm down, Junius. He doesn't look like she, clearly. He doesn't look like one of them orcs to me. He doesn't have a horn on his head. Just hold your tongue, will you, Bibius? Can't be too careful. We are sworn to protect Cecile. So, we've got a few different ways of approaching this. And what's interesting is you can actually antagonize these fellows and have them attack you. It's very, very easy to do. They're not terribly hard to fight, and they're actually worth a hell of a lot of experience points. So, it's definitely a possibility that you might want to fight these guys. On the other hand, if you don't fight them, if we go through, so we're source hunters, here are our orders. Yeah, I was supposed to verify that's true. We can't read, my friend, so for all we know, these papers say you're a polymorph parrot on the lookout for 2-bedroom birdcage. They don't prove a thing. You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know he reads. He has books large as a house, that one. Yeah, he'll squeeze the truth out of you one way or another. So here, yeah, we can say, I don't need an escort, especially not a drunken one. Back off or face me, and then you'll fight these guys. Or we can cooperate. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this option because it'll actually be helpful for us to have some extra muscle for the next fight. So, yeah, sounds good to me. And then Roderick, and again, in this two-player things, both people get to contribute to the conversation. So we'll have Roderick play nice as well. All right, come along. We're not far from the city. We got some XP for that as well. We would have gotten more if we'd killed them, but on the other hand, then they would be dead. Loot this barrel, which has a cup of water, some flour, and rope. Yeah, we'll take everything. That sounds pretty good to me. Let's move forward, and they should follow, which is good because we're about to get into a really big fight over here. I think we'll get a hint of it. There we go. There, this is helping me out to point out that we can move things. But yeah, we can see that there's some events going on here. Oh, this barrel might be lootable. Nope. Can't grab that hammer. Oh, we can grab the hammer. Yeah, let's do that. I think the hammer might be used in crafting. No, it's actually a weapon. Okay. And there is a pretty involved crafting system. In fact, this Legionnaire's Companion I just picked up, we'll look at later, has a lot of different ingredients. So, or ingredients, recipes. I don't know where the guards have gone. I hope they're still with me. They should still be with me. But there we go. We've just had a boat arrived and unloading some orcs there, and an orc shaman, and also a dark cultist. So someone working with the orcs for some reason. I'm going to go ahead and charge the shaman here. Oh, don't quite get the knockdown, which is too bad because he's going to be very annoying with his spells. And I wonder if we can't get a charm too far away. How many action points we need to save for that? 5 action points. So if we move up to here, that'll leave us with 5 action points. And let's see if that's in range for a charm. It is. If we can charm one of these big orcs. Saving throw failed, so he is charmed. Awesome. So yeah, there's some fighting going on over here. They're dealing with that as well. And then they'll move in. Yeah, where do our other guys go? I'm not sure. It is early access. Maybe they're just out of line of sight. That's entirely possible. I don't think they're down here. These are generic legionnaires. Oh, he succeeded in his save, so he's no longer charmed, which is too bad for us. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move up here. I'll engage this big orc, because then Roderick can come in from behind. Just end your turn. That's fine. He can come in from behind and get some backstab. Awesome sauce. He does have a fighting knife. That'll work. Backstab failed twice. Oh, that's too bad, because the backstab does massive bonus damage. There's still the flanking bonus, and if I mouse over this guy, it'll say at the top, right underneath the health bar, that they've got -10 defense from being flanked. So getting that set up is really, really handy. There's an oil barrel here, which I think this shaman is actually going to take advantage of if I let him. I'm not sure if he will. Oh my god. I'm getting the crap beat out of me. I don't know if you've got a health potion, but if I do, I do. Good. Double click on that, heal up. Used some of my action points, but that's okay. Let's see if we can't kill. Oh my god, this trooper has crap tons of hit points. I'm going to try to move aside here. Hopefully not take quite as many hits, while still also providing some flanking. A couple of backstabs there. This ability is on cooldown, so I'll just attack some more. Yeah, we're not getting the backstab bonus. But we can attack quite often. What I really need is a second weapon to put in this guy's offhand. So these guys are attacking the Dark Cultist, which is good. But they really need to help me out with these Orc Troopers. These things are like huge piles of hit points. Oh! Alright, so we've got some burning ground there. I'm actually on fire, so I'm taking burning damage every turn. I'm wondering about using a... Should I use a fear? No. I think what I'm going to do is just... I'm not convinced I'm going to be able to attack. No, I don't have enough action points, so I'm just going to move over to be next to the shaman at the very least. Maybe on the other side of him here. And then... Right, we can silence people, stop them from using spells, and there's certainly some value in that. I would really like to be able to put some damage down on the shaman, so I'm a little bit exposed here and flanked. But we'll see what we can do anyway. Ooh, nice damage there from this guy, this legionnaire. Huge damage on the orc. Okay, yeah, that's really helpful. They might be able to finish him off, and they do. So yeah, the first time, or the most recent time I came through this area with this orc shaman, we positioned ourselves differently, and what he did is he ended up fireballing the oil barrel, spilled oil all over, and then lit it on fire, which, oh, critical hit. And I still can't melee twice, which is too bad. Backstab. Critical hits. Not doing huge amounts of damage, though. More backstabs. I mean, it's not bad, but it could certainly be higher. And that's it for my turn, so these guys are going to get the killing blow on the shaman. But that's okay, we should still get experience points for everything. Miss, miss, miss. Hit! There we are. And dropping some loot as well. Those orcs had a human commander. Where are Bibius and Junius? Yeah, actually, where are they? I didn't kill them this time, so they should definitely be here. Short bow dropped over there. Look at them react to people who are dying. It's awesome. Another short sword over here. There we go. I can probably equip that on Roderick on his offhand. Yeah? No? Oh, maybe not. Maybe he doesn't have 2-weapon fighting. Check this barrel over here. What do we have? Cloth scraps. All right. This crate. Yeah, most of the crates seem to be relatively empty. And I don't think I need to talk to these fellows. But I was discussing bonus points for exploration. And I can show you that if I go down here, I'll actually get, what, 150 XP? Do I get the pop-up? There we are. Both characters get exploration XP. You know, so it really pays off to explore as much as possible. And it looks like, I think this stuff is randomly generated, because this is different loot than I saw last time. I'm almost wondering if for Scarlet, let's open her inventory. Oh, they have different inventory. I didn't realize that. This staff here, let's drop it on top of Scarlet. I wonder if she should equip it. Attack takes less action points. And it does more damage. Well, it's got a higher damage range. Seems like a good idea. Let's give her a staff to beat people with. I mean, it looks like a wizardy kind of thing, but not necessarily. And let's go into town and see what's there. So we'll go into town and we'll see a couple other things. Here's Aru. Aru of like the horrible similes. What's this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's largest mackerel. But I see we suffered another orc landing, and judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Cecile. Oh, we didn't actually make a simile this time. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day. Like, this guy. Moira convinced sorcery was used. But I can feel my very whiskers that foul magic was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'll bet sardines for salad you'll see the same. Like, what is with this guy? So we gotta go to the King Crab Inn. Alright. Another hairball stuck. Like, what? 9 lives of meat. This guy's weird. Alright. Some more text, and we'll move in. Now, let's move over here. So there's lots of things over here that we can use. Oh, fire, fire, fire. They're complaining about fire on the ship. And everyone's distracted. Let's see if we can pick up the 9-inch nails. Oh! This is a game where, of course, like, this game is one of these, like, they think of everything games where, really, we can't loot it anyway? They're busy. Well, apparently they're not too busy to notice me. This is one of those games where you can't necessarily just pick up everything and not have it be noticed. They do try to think of everything. So yeah, that doesn't belong to us, we know. And so we can have a discussion about how we want to deal with things. We should be able to access any of the resources we need or want while we're on the job. And Roderick is rogue, actually, so he should agree with it. There we go. So we'll both say the same. I could have actually sent them in different directions and see if they get slightly different events and things trigger. We discovered a waypoint, which is great. That's just a generic worker. We might be able to loot some more stuff there. We're not sure. And yeah. So there's a waypoint, which we haven't uncovered yet. And there's a door over here, which will lead to another room that's got... Yeah, it tells you about the sneak mode, but I haven't actually been able to figure out how to access this room yet. There's a crap ton of loot, but there's a lot of guards around. And the sneak, even if I switch over to the rogue, Roderick over here, let's put everyone in the corner. And then I'll switch to sneak mode. But, like, I certainly can't approach as is without being spotted. Now, I can distract these fellows to a certain extent by instigating a fight, but I haven't been able to figure out how to successfully get in there. I may just need to be higher level. There's also a parchment in the book. I haven't been able to read that either, and it drives me crazy. But yeah, if I talk to Roderick over here, it's like, tell me about yourself. He prefers to be called Loose Lips McGee. He's got some opinions about Florius, who he calls a man-child. Alright, so we'll call that done. You've got nothing, I think, but if we talk to Florius over here, and we say, oh, he called you Loose Lips McGee, what's that all about? What? And then we're going to go and argue and start a fight, and eventually the sergeant will even go over there as well. But even with that, I can't seem to be able to manage to, like, sneak through this door. Yeah, so they're going to fight, which will call over the sergeant. Level question mark, question mark. It's definitely much higher, and I can't sneak. And they won't let me open the door as well. And if I try to, like, just pick up random stuff, they will all just aggro on me. So some other approach will have to be attempted over here. Who's this? Moira, who's got lots of things to say about a little bit about everything. And also guard some of her loot. Oh, we might be able to steal some of this stuff. Close the door. We'll leave Scarlet outside. Ah, nice. Okay, so we can do some proper stealing here. May as well take the uppity cups. We can sell them as well. Hopefully they're not flagged as stolen. I didn't do this on my last Let's Play. Or my last try through, I should say. Can I move these containers? Yeah, or not. Lid of a barrel, which can be used as a shield, I suppose. What do I have here? Potato. Take all the things. Because a lot of it can be used for crafting. Oh, we can get to that. Sort of doubting it. Empty bottles, candles. Sure, we'll take the candle. Which affects the lighting in the room. That's very cool. Alright, let's get out of here. No one's accused us of stealing. There's a nice chest over there. Be nice if we can get into it, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to pull it off. Or smokescreen arrow. Yeah, let's grab that. Alright. I guess my sneaking worked there. And there's another bit of an event back here where this fellow is in love with this orc, and you get to decide what's the orc's fate over here. Let's initiate the conversation. Who better than proven orc crusher to convince a dumble of a friend here that orcs are predators, not pets? Right, so I'm an orc crusher. Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed, and one can see she's completely docile, but my prejudiced friend here wants to kill her. Alright. So yeah, this orc has been charmed. He used a healing potion, or a love potion potentially on the orc. And I sound like he may have been hit by it as well, because he's clearly totally infatuated about her. Yeah, tell me more about the love potion. All right. And so let me tell you what I think. So, do I think that the orc needs to be put down regardless? Or, let her live. If that potion were truly worthless, it wouldn't have been able to charm her in the first place. In this docile state, she may be able to prove a source of valuable information. I'm going to go ahead and go with that. And then Scarlet gets to throw in her own 2 cents. So let's have her differ. You would trust a quack magazine from Yulfgor? She's clearly liable to snap at any minute. No. If you want to go after her, you'll have to face me first, and I don't take kindly to murderers. Intimidate. Don't you want to see whether or not this experiment proves successful? A real working love potion. Think of the possibilities. Use charm. Think of the intel this creature would provide, and if she begins to revert, these men are armed and will be able to subvert her. Reason. Now, I got some reason bonus earlier, if I recall correctly, by being pragmatic, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And then she gets to reply back. If you're the only thing that stands between me and eliminating the threat, you won't stand long. Like, the actual, characters, and especially if you're playing 2 players, you can really roleplay your character in a variety of different ways. I ordered a similar love potion from Yulfgor before, Since you obviously have no special affection for me, I think we can conclude the advertisements just don't deliver. So the flirty response. You must realize that if this orc gets loose in the city, we're the ones who'll have to put her down and deal with the bloody aftermath. Yeah, we'll try to be charming about it. No, we'll do as I say. So I think there's a certain amount of randomness or various stats that determine who gets to win the discussion. And here we actually got +1 romantic, which is kind of counter to the pragmatic we had before. So bravo, I trust not only the potion, but my scaly sweetheart in and of herself. You're going to regret this. We're all going to regret this. So, and we got a journal update for that. Charmed, I'm sure. We convinced the guards to keep her alive. So plenty of events there. Plenty to do. Oh, she's gone. I wonder if this is a good opportunity to steal more things from over here. Not that there's much going on over here. Oh, empty potion flask. That's probably nice for crafting. Alright, break the sneak again. So, I mean, we might be able to do something over here with sneak, but I don't know, not yet. What I really need to do is get some trading on. Which we can do with most people. Everyone might have various things to trade, but what do we have here? Some worker. What is this pile? Oh, some fish. I'll take it. He won't mind. Trade? You've got nothing. There's a merchant, though, I thought. Someone I could trade more with. Oh, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking of Ari. He had offered quite a bit to trade originally. Troy party through their portraits. Yes. Another journal update. Oh, what is this over here? Bring up the map. Waypoint Shrine. Let's make our way up. We'll play for a little bit longer. Yeah, quick save. That sounds helpful. Actually, we'll do that. Cool. Thank you. And I know there's going to be a big event at some point where you've got to defend this town from waves and waves of monsters. I don't think we'll quite get to that point. I wonder if any of these Legionnaires have anything to trade. Oh, nope. They're just generic people. They have nothing to trade. Or at least that one person didn't. Got a fountain here. Looks very nice. A few buildings, some plants. Got a door into a house. Oh, it's locked. Sneak? Lockpick? Unlocked. It's an abandoned house? Well, so I really don't need to sneak. We'll steal some things, though. We should actually look at the crafting. I can't remember. Oh, yeah. So if I go into her inventory and read the Legionnaire's Companion. So it's got a bunch of recipes. So arrow shaft, you can get a branch of wood and a knife, can make an arrow. A spear would be a branch of wood and a dagger, and a staff would be a branch of wood and another branch of wood. Very sophisticated. I like this for the cooking. Flour plus water equals dough. Tomato plus hammer equals pizza sauce, right? Pizza sauce plus dough equals pizza dough. And pizza dough plus oven is a juicy pizza. And so this is just like touching on the surface of different things. So we actually have some of this. We have some flour and water over here, and we can combine those two. Takes a second. And boop. Now we have dough. If we found some tomatoes, we could actually make some pizza sauce, because we do have some tomatoes. So we got a candle holder over here, which we could toggle on and off. Looks like the tooltip for that is not complete. A painting of a man. Can I take that? Nope. All right. Anything else? Oh, there's a chest. What do we got? We got gold and a golden cup. Tells you right off. Just sell it. Painting of a woman. Which, oh, we can take. All right. And a door over here, which I suppose we can just pick that as well. Can't we? Yes. Good. I don't know where the next quest is, but I'm having fun exploring around. I hadn't actually come up here before. I went straight to an area down by the beach in the past. I keep seeing some blips, so there's got to be some things over here. Just more Legionnaires. Unnamed. I wonder if they sell anything if I try to go through. Into the wilderness. I really do need to do more trading, though. So let's go back into town, actually. And see, we'll find one more sort of scene to work through, and then we'll quit this video. But yeah, I think this game has a lot of potential. I know it's far from being complete, and so you know I want to give proper warning about that, especially if you're buying into the early access. Oh, Mortician's shop. Well, I don't see a Mortician around, so let's steal all his things, including this book. What's this book? Just generic book. Okay, something to vend. Oh, you're welcome here, but I'll think you leave my other quarters be. Everyone needs a bit of privacy. Oh, of course. Terribly sorry. I did not see you there before. Did you come from upstairs? Well, if you're not up here, I'm going to loot all your things. Some 9-inch nails. Hammers. It's kind of a creepy place to be. Loot the bookshelf? No. Oh, he's come up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to rush down. Try to open this right away. And then close it. Oh, we got exploration XP. There. Now we've got a little bit of privacy. So, Dead Bodies, Tome 3. The Blooming Corpse, Guide to Safe Necromancy. He's a necromancer? Oh, more recipes. Hmm. Alright, that's good to know. What else he's got here? The Ledger. Anything incriminating? Furthermore, I find it impossible that any but Mayor Cecil, Captain Oris, Evelyn, or Esmeralda would have been able to gain access to the body without my noticing. Corpse can't just vanish into thin air. Even if it could, it's not as though a strong wind could blow a sack of gold onto the empty slab. No, one of them must have been involved. But as long as no one goes digging up Jake's coffin, I don't see how the crime could be traced back to me. So, someone stole the body. Looks like the Mortician is rather suspicious about Jake. Yeah, this is quite the mystery to solve, actually. Well, I don't want to spoil any of it by getting any further. I wonder if we can, like, question the Mortician. So what can I do with the 9-inch nails, I wonder? It's an ingredient, yeah, but what do we do with it? I'm going to run out of inventory space. I do have another roll, which is good. Or another row. And a bucket. I wonder if this is like that zombie game where you combine like a bucket plus a drill, and then you end up with a... What's that thing called? You're in a mall? I don't know. Let's question the Mortician Roberts. What can you tell me about Jake's murder? Sad story. That, though, if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an Undertaker, especially not these days, with so many laid low by orcs and such like. I'm just concerned myself with giving the remains this respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace. So about Jake's body. How do you, the ledger, is it? Fool was I to leave it in the open, or perhaps I even looked forward to being found out. Well, as you know, I have my suspects in the matter. What would you like to know about? Tell me about the mayor. First, there's Mayor Cecil, or Cecil. Certainly, plenty of us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses, you know, and he's the only person in town with a second copy of the key to mortuary. All right, could have used it. All right, what about the captain? Bloke in charge of the investigation himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered, came rapping at my door in the frosty morning before the sun even started peeping, and told me to tell him personally if I noticed anything strange or suspicious about the remains. Can't see why I'd bother going through all that trouble unless you knew something the rest of us didn't. What about Evelyn? Strange suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in the city who could manage to transport a corpse without raising eyebrows. It was she who delivered Jake's body to the inn in the mortuary, from the inn to the mortuary, and there was something about her that night, some kind of excitement. Seemed she could barely contain her thoughts, and there was something thrilling about the happen. I can't quite settle in my mind how a young medical professional could have strange reactions to such a sad occasion. And Esmeralda. I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of her husband, and I've seen hundreds pass through my parlor. Someone else accused Esmeralda as maybe being the murderer. We'll see. It was she who rang my bell to ask after the funeral arrangements when the body was snatched. Wouldn't surprise me if she had an accomplice sneak in and grab it while I was distracted, and who knows for what awful purpose. And about himself, and yeah, alright. Well, I should actually, like, lure him back downstairs so I can sneak in over here. Maybe I can still... Well, might not bother me as what I can do. I can steal your pillows. What do you got here? Leather boots. Yeah, let's take that. Looks like there's not much else to steal, so we'll leave them be. But I like how they react to what you're doing, you know? You can still game the system, obviously. It's still a game, and then there's all that, but I know, it's pretty interesting. Anyway, I hope I left you with a bit of an impression about how the game works. You know, the combat is kind of interesting, the dialogue tree is kind of interesting, the game is far from finished. But it has promised a lot of a really cool thing for a really long time, so keep your eye on this one. Even if you're not willing to maybe, you know, lay down $39.99 US for a copy of an unfinished game, and I certainly wouldn't blame you for that, do keep your eyes open on it, because I think it's got some potential. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment. Did you know I read every single comment someone leaves on my video? That's insane. Why would I do that? I don't know, but I'll read yours.